Cape Town Mayor Patricia de Lille is threatening to take legal action against those she accuses of a smear campaign. De Lille's had to answer to allegations contained in 2 leaked reports. 5 DA members have resigned in support of her. She joins us from our Cape Town studios. Ma'am, a very good morning to you. It's been a dramatic few months for you. How are you holding up?
Good morning. It's been more than a few months. It's almost a year now. I want to be held accountable. And what I'm challenging now is that the same company, Bowman's, conducting the same investigation, investigating the same charge, came to 2 different conclusions. The one report clears me, and the other one found that I am guilty of misconduct. And my lawyers have written to them to seek clarity on the 2 reports, and their response has been that the city manager must explain the difference. Now, I am waiting for further advice from my lawyers to decide what to do further. Council adopted the 2 reports yesterday. I said to the Speaker that I would like to be charged if I've done something wrong. But this smear campaign against me has been going on for more than a year. I have been found not guilty of any of these charges that they have thrown at me. I have gone to the court 3 times, and the court has ruled in my favor. And it seems like in this instance, again, the only place that I will find justice will be in the courts.
You speak of the Bowman's report, and you say you want to be held accountable. While that process is playing itself out with your lawyers, what specifically are you referring to in terms of factual errors that are contained in those 2 reports?
Well, the two factual errors contained in the report is the one found that I have interfered and prevented the city manager from taking a report to council. In terms of the law, it is the onus is on the city manager to report any wrongdoing of executive directors to the council. The mayor's responsibility is only to report any wrongdoing of the city manager to council. In this instance, the allegations is around an executive director, and they want to hold me accountable for not reporting it to council. So that is the legally compliant rule of what I must do.
Since you say you want to be held accountable, to what extent will you cooperate with the investigation that the DA has made known will get underway?
Well, I've cooperated right from the beginning. I have welcomed the investigation. When they asked me to submit reports, to come for interviews, I've done all of that. I think it is the company Bowman's that must explain how the same company come to 2 different conclusions. Unfortunately, at the expense of the ratepayers of Cape Town. Just a month ago, by deviation, the city manager approved 822,000 rand to this company, over and above the millions that we have spent already. And so, I have not been found guilty. This is a report. This report is a politically manipulated report, and it can be reviewed and can be set aside through a court of law.
I'm joined in studio by Gareth van Onselen. We are to have a conversation with him a little bit later on after your chatting to you. But I'd like to introduce him into this conversation. Gareth, you tweeted, and I quote, de Lille is really a disgrace, and never mind the DA. She serves the public. She owes the public an explanation. But no, she hides behind procedure. She'd never allow the ANC to do that. What explanation does she owe the public, do you believe?
Well, a whole range of explanations. There are screenshots, there are times that SMSs have been sent, ethically compromising SMSs, which she refuses to acknowledge or engage. There's a 2,000-word report in the City of Cape Town, a forensic audit by a leading law firm, which suggests that there's been criminal malpractice. She hasn't given the public any explanation for that. She constantly hides behind bureaucratic procedure and process and refuses to answer to the people to whom she accounts. And those are the ratepayers in the City of Cape Town. And she needs to give them an explanation and stop hiding behind procedure.
Mr. Lille, how do you respond to that?
You know, it's disgusting that he thinks that anybody can just be accused, that in this case, an untested report based on evidence that must be tested. Gareth, I am entitled to my rights, but I can understand where you are coming from. You are entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to judge me. You have got your own views and you not represent the public. I was voted in the City of Cape Town by 66.6% of the voters. You pretend to be reporting and to be accepting that we live in a constitutional country, that we are all equal before the law. Who are you to come and say that I'm not entitled to clear my name? I have done so 3 times through a court of law, and I've won 3 times. So please, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
Mr. Lille, let's go back to developments
Sorry, can I
from
respond to that?
yesterday. Sure.
First of all, I am entitled to my own facts, and I am entitled to judge Mr. Lille based on the evidence, as is everyone. And there is a screenshot of an SMS that she sent to the public, and it's quite simple for her to solve. She can answer quite openly and publicly right now to the public. Did you send the SMS or not? Yes or no? Well, then you'll have no problem in saying you didn't send it. I know, I'm asking you to test it.
Let me just intervene.
Did you send the SMS? Did you send the SMS?
Gareth, Mr.
You
Lille
come
and
from
Gareth,
the
let me
DA.
just intervene here. This is
Don't
where we're
shout
going
at
now.
me.
Mr.
Don't
Lille, can I
shout
just
at me.
step in there and take you here?
Exactly.
Let's take a look at developments from yesterday, where 5 councillors resigned in solidarity with you, citing rampant racism within the DA. Is the DA a racist party?
What has happened is that after the DA lost the motion of no confidence against me, they unleashed a victimization program against all of the councillors that voted and supporting, against the motion of no confidence. He knows the facts. He knows what has been going on in Cape Town. He knows that the DA listens only to JP Smith and to Ian Nielsen, because they behave as if they are the bosses of everybody. All the complaints that the councillors have submitted about JP Smith and Ian Nielsen, the party did absolutely nothing. But lots of charges against the councillors that left yesterday. So I will advise Gareth to get to the facts and not to listen to one side of the story, but also respect the rights, because this is all about respect. You don't respect the rights of other people, and that's why people can rightfully say that it is a racist attack.
What does Ms. Patricia de Lille say when
Only
it comes
some
to
people are
the
entitled to
DA?
rights.
What do you say, ma'am, when it comes to the DA being a racist party? We're going into elections next year, and we're putting about rhetoric that it is a racist party. So what do you say in response to that directly? Is the party racist?
First of all, we mustn't undermine the intelligence of South Africans, and the voters will finally decide whether the DA is racist or not. But there are racist tendency in the DA, and those are the people that create the perception that the DA is racist.
Will you be resigning from the party?
I've got until the 31st of October next week to resign. I'm consulting with my lawyers about what is the next step. I'm meeting with them today. With this new charges against me, my lawyers will advise what is the best way forward, because this smear campaign against me this is just another attempt to smear my name. My good name that I have built up in this country over many years. For Gerrit's information, I fought for these rights in this country today. I know my rights, and you will not deny my rights to have due process and due systems to test the allegations that you kept on repeating over and over.
Gareth, your response?
Yeah, no one's contesting rights and procedures. It's just fluff talk from Patricia de Lille. The brutal truth is that there's a whole body of evidence against her,
nonsense,
including...
man.
Sorry, you've had a chance to speak. Let's show some respect, as you keep calling for other people.
Mr. Lille, please hang 10 for us. Let him just finish his thought. We'll give you a chance to respond.
So here's what we know. We have a screenshot of an SMS from Patricia de Lille instructing a member of the Maycomb Council to vote a certain way for a city manager. We have the time of the SMS. We have the number it was sent. There's no other information that's required. All that's required is for Patricia de Lille to confirm or deny whether she sent it. Now, you and me can talk to her for 10 or 15 minutes now and ask a very simple question which an innocent person would refute. I absolutely did not send that message. She will refuse to answer that question, I guarantee you. And what she'll say is that it needs to be tested in a process and in a court of law and stuff. It's absolute nonsense. She would not hold those standards towards the ANC. And she refuses to take ethical responsibility for that SMS.
A court has cleared her 3 times.
No, a court has not ever tested that allegation. All that the court has done is found that procedures have been wrong in trying to get to it, but none of the evidence has been put before her. And she's laughing at the public right now.
Mr. Lille, you find this amusing?
No, I'm laughing at you because you're undermining the intelligence of South Africans. Are you aware that because the DA was not able to produce evidence in a disciplinary hearing, that the DA has now abandoned the Steenhuisen report? What does that mean, Gerrit? It
Did
means
you send the
that
SMS?
That report has got no force and effect. No. You try to be clever. Don't try to be clever with me. You're not clever.
Did you send the SMS?
By asking the same question over and over.
Yes or no?
Because it must be tested in a structure. You know what Helen Zille always said in the DA, and while you were a member of the DA, Helen Zille said that we are a party of due process and systems. And we are all equal before the party constitution. We are all equal before the country constitution. Now, you are part of the cabal that's trying to smear my name in the DA. You are so-called analysts. You're not an honest analyst because you get your information from that cabal in the DA.
Mr. Lille, let's go here. Gareth, I beg your pardon. Let's go here. Let's listen to what Grant Twigg has to say about the state of affairs in the Democratic Alliance. He says there's no crisis in the DA. Take a listen.
There's no crisis within the DA. There's no crisis within the caucus. We still have the majority within caucus, and the majority of our colleagues is continuing to fight the corruption wherever it rears its head, and will continue doing so as we go forward.
As we wrap up the conversation, Gareth, it would seem clear just from this interaction that there are issues, and the issues run deep. Is there a crisis in the DA?
Oh, there are multiple crises in the DA. I mean, this latest incident of the report against Patricia de Lille in the city of Cape Town is only one of a series of problems the party's had in that province. Going all the way back to Helen Zille's tweets, there was the drought, there was the initial fallout with Patricia de Lille. All of these things are a crisis of sorts and a PR problem for that party, and are likely to drive up voter apathy ahead of the 2019 election. And what it needs to do as soon as possible is bring these things to a closure so that it can move forward and focus on communicating a positive message on the issues that matter to voters.
Mr. Lille, why stay with a party that does not want you and has expressed that explicitly? Why not fight and to clear your name without that party?
The DA certainly has got the right that they don't want me, but they need to follow their own internal processes to get rid of me. The High Court in Cape Town found that the DA didn't follow their own internal processes. The question is, why did they make an exception the way they treated me? Why did I have to turn to a high court to say, please, subject me to the internal processes of the party? That's all. Because it's the hypocrisy that you say that you live in a country of a rule of law, but you break your own rules and your own internal laws. So how can I get justice ever, Gareth, if the party didn't follow their own internal rules?
Did you send the
Ms.
SMS?
Patricia de Lille, thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us on the program this morning. Gareth van Onselen from the Institute for Race Relations, thank you very much also for your time.